2 years ago, I started my bouldering journey and I've had so much fun since then. I've documented my entire journey step by step from the very beginning, and here are some recent updates. For each year, I've completed a 9C strength test to track my progress, which is a test used by climbers to see how hard you can climb. The most recent one I did for this video had some really interesting results, but before I dive into that, I want to share some of my thoughts and cool things that happened this year. Firstly, at the beginning of this year, I made a video where I trained like Magnus for 30 days. He managed to actually see that video and left a pretty nice comment, which was pretty awesome. I'm still climbing at Nomads in Sydney. Just quickly for your reference, the grading goes by the following: blue, yellow, orange, green, purple, black, red, pink, and the whites are wildcards. Unfortunately this year, it feels like I haven't climbed as much as the previous year. I now climb around 1 to 2 times per week, and because of this, it definitely feels like I've stopped improving. One of the more underrated factors in climbing, or any training really, is just staying consistent. And the good news is that they recently opened a new gym closer to me, so hopefully I'll be able to go a bit more often. I've covered most of the bouldering techniques in my previous video, but here are just 3 more that I haven't yet mentioned. Number 1, a Gaston. This is when you use your arms and palms to push outwards, and it's kind of like opening an elevated door. A dead point is a dynamic move when you use a controlled jump or lunge to reach a hold at the peak of your motion or momentum. And finally, a really cool one, which is a paddle dyno. So this is another dynamic move where you quickly bounce your hands along multiple holds without losing momentum. Some other notes for this year: it feels like my confidence on the wall is at an all-time high, which is good. I still really enjoy trying new climbs, unless it's a slab that will take off your shins. But I think the best thing about climbing compared to the gym is that the holds and the routes are consistently changing, and therefore there's always something new to try each time you go. I've climbed a bit in New York City, which was an epic adventure. The facilities at Vital Brooklyn are totally unmatched, and I'll definitely recommend you check it out if you have the chance. I've also been able to check out some different bouldering gyms here in Sydney, and even tried top roping, which was super fun. I personally found top roping more tiring than bouldering because the route is just longer. I've also bought a new pair of Scarpa Drago LVs, which are a bit of an upgrade from my Vapor Vs or Instincts. Another thing that I've done is that I've not only managed to get 1, but 2 new pink climbs, which is awesome. Even though you could say they were definitely a bit soft, I've finally managed to clear all the grades in the gym, which feels pretty cool. As per tradition, here are a couple cool climbing breakdowns. This climb took me several weeks to project. You first start with a drop knee and reach up to this half moon hold. Rearranging your body and feet, you get your left hand into this crimpy pincher. The left foothold here is absolutely tiny, so using a bit of coordination, you move into this Gaston crimp. You then swap feet and reach out. And finally finish with a dynamic move. Here's another cool climb starting with a bicycle, which locks your body into place. With the dyno, you swing across and use your momentum to press and keep your hips glued to the wall. You dyno again, and using a high heel, you can reach and finish the climb. Finally, here are the results for my 9C test. Now I must say this year I haven't been majorly focused on climbing, and for this reason, I was pretty sure that I've regressed. For the crimp test, I managed to pull 150% of my body weight, which is 35 kilos, which gives me 6 points. and this is actually a massive improvement from the year before. My max chin up is still the same at 160% or 40 kilograms, so 7 points. This here is me attempting 180 a year apart, and honestly I think there is a bit of improvement there. For the L sit, unfortunately I was only able to hold it for 15 seconds, so a bit of a decrease to 5 points. And finally for the bar hang, a massive improvement as I was able to hold it for 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which gives me 5 points.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh man, that's tough.
This left me with a total score of 23 points, equivalent to an 8A+, a massive improvement of 3 points. So as you can see, a few massive improvements which definitely surprised me in some sections, and a bit of regression as well. I also do an additional test to see how many chin-ups I could do, and unfortunately this year I could only do 19 compared to my 20 I did last year, so not too bad. I definitely don't feel as strong as I was at the beginning of the year after I've just completed the Magnus challenge, but it's absolutely crazy to see how far I've come in 2 years. I mean, at the very beginning of my journey, I could barely even hold the 20 millimeters for 5 seconds using just my body weight. This year, it's still really nice to see some improvements on paper. Again, I'd highly recommend bouldering to you if you haven't already given it a try. It's a hobby that I really enjoy and a great pastime to meet and hang out with your friends. A big thank you to everyone who's watched since my first bouldering video. I hope you stick around, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.